I'm completely infertile without surgery, but my wife just told me she's pregnant. We're all thinking it. This could only mean one thing. Maybe. This story was first posted June 16th, 2019. My wife and I have been married for 3 years, together for 6. She's always been one of the most amazing people I've ever met. No huge fights, love languages match up, and we're both fairly active people, which has been why we've always had a really strong relationship for so long. That's why this is so difficult for me. We've both been doing pretty well in our careers the last few years. She's in marketing and I work independently as an IT consultant, allowing me to set my own hours and be pretty flexible. We decided last year that we wanted to start a family, her most likely keeping her full-time job and me scaling back to part-time. We've both been anxious, but pretty excited to have our own kids. Long story short, I was diagnosed with azoospermia last December. Blockage in the pipes just meant I wasn't actually producing any sperm when ejaculating. I think I can say that on YouTube. YouTube, please. Please be kind. It's just a word. It is curable with surgery, thankfully, and we finally got it scheduled this July. She's got a high sex drive, as do I, so we've still been very sexually active. But there should have been no way I could have gotten her pregnant. She missed her period this week. I couldn't imagine that she might actually be pregnant, right? The babies are bottled in until they get the blockage out. She took 3 tests though, and sure enough, they are all positive. At first, I was stunned because this shouldn't be possible. She's never been unfaithful to me in the past and has never given me a reason to not trust her. I'm not the jealous type, but I'm literally stuck. The doctor said that this couldn't happen. And I can't believe that my wife would jeopardize the future that we've been so excited for over some fling, when we seem to have such a great emotional and physical connection. My wife has been ecstatic. She's given no indication of any guilt or worry that she may have cheated. She was so excited when she first found out that I didn't express my worries then. But she left for work, and now I feel completely torn. What if she did cheat? Looking back now, there's a few tiny things that didn't seem to be an issue, but now have me racking my brain for clues. Her job often has her taking clients out for dinner, and it's not uncommon for her to get back late in the evening. She definitely had a busy last few months, but that's not uncommon for her job. She always wears one of the same 2 perfumes, but she came back one night smelling completely different. I remember seeing a text message on her lock screen of just a winky face. A different time, but assumed it was just one of her girlfriends. I don't know what to do. I set up an appointment on Monday to see if there is any chance that it could be mine. If it is mine and I accuse her of cheating, I will feel like the world's biggest a-hole. But she's coming home in a few hours and I don't know what I'm going to say to her. I can't stop thinking of these small things that may have been her cheating and I just didn't see it. Do I wait until the doctor's appointment on Monday before talking to her? Or do I bring up these insecurities while she's celebrating the pregnancy? I'm worried I won't be able to hide what's going on. Edit. I should add I've been cheated on before. Our relationship has been pretty healthy, but the old fear is creeping back in now. I'm not sure how to just wait until the appointment. I really hope y'all are right that some freak sperm made it past. My wife is coming home in an hour and I have to decide if I'm going to put on a happy face until Monday or not. This is bringing up some old emotional scars, I think, and it is just messing with me. I'm usually never this insecure and uncertain about being straightforward. I think I need to just find some way to bring it up without being accusatory. This is so interesting. Obviously, I know nothing scientifically about this. Maybe there is a very good chance that it could still happen despite what the doctor said, or she could have very well cheated and the child is not yours. Either way, it could totally go either way. We're going to check out some of the top comments so far because I'm curious what other people are saying. Someone commented, I literally just studied this. Okay, so although you've been diagnosed with azoospermia, it means that when they looked at your semen in the lab, it didn't have any sperm in it. However, you produce a lot of semen and the lab only looks at a tiny fraction of it, which usually gives a good response. Usually you would repeat several times before concluding it was that, although just because the lab didn't see any sperm in it, it can mean that you have an incredibly low count, so none of their samples from the sample showed that you have any. This doesn't necessarily mean, for example, in a normal ejaculation, a normal guy would have 30 to 90 million sperm, which is usually about 15 million per milliliter.
What?
That's how much? That number's like just blew my mind. Not that I've ever researched that, but like I thought it was gonna be like 27. Not even close, Joss. Or am I? It's possible you have maybe even 1,000 sperm per milliliter and you would still be diagnosed with azoospermia, as it would not be expected, and that the likelihood of getting pregnant at the right time with only 1,000 sperm would be probable, but it can happen. Even if you only had 1 sperm per milliliter, you could still get her pregnant, but you would definitely never find that 1 sperm as a biomedical scientist in a lab. Good luck and happy fatherhood. Okay, so scientifically, this person is saying it is still possible that he could get his wife pregnant. The OOP wrote back to that saying, I hope you're right. I don't remember exactly what they said, but are there any forms that would have a complete lack of sperm count? They seem to be convinced it was completely blocked off, but this was all months ago and I don't remember exactly what they said. Next comment. Keep your mouth shut till you get your test results back. If by some miracle the dam has broken and you have swimmers, you can rejoice greatly. If you mention your fears to your pregnant wife beforehand, you run the risk of totally trashing your marriage over your own paranoia. Granted, it's understandable, but wait till you know what's going on before you speak. A few days isn't going to hurt anything.
I feel like, yeah.
That is probably the safest bet. It's only a few days. It's not like it's a few weeks. Get your answers, because it very well could be yours and you guys can just live happily ever after. But also, that winky face text is probably in your mind. Understandable. We have an update, which came 2 days later. Thank you to everyone who reached out and offered their stories. I can't believe how many people are told that they're completely sterile and end up being able to have kids anyways. I took a lot of what you guys said to heart. I had an ex of mine from years ago that ended up cheating on me, and it really left a scar for a while. It wasn't until I got more involved with sports and getting in better shape that I was able to try and move on. My wife and I actually met in a soccer league we were in together. We've had so much trust for so long that I thought those fears had gone away. It wasn't until now that I really started to feel shaken like that again. But I didn't want to let my past get in the way of what could be a huge blessing. A few people really articulated the right way to communicate my feelings in a way that wasn't accusatory and respectful of my wife, who's never really given me a reason to doubt her. It's not uncommon for her to sometimes be home late, and she'll usually like to go straight to bed. I didn't want to dump this on her immediately and decided to give myself a night to sleep on it. I got up pretty early, just being restless. I went for a run and I cleared my mind. I couldn't wait any longer, so you did not take our advice then.
Okay.
I made our favorite omelets and I told her I needed to talk to her about something. You know I'm not Ashley, right? She knows me well. Ashley is my ex who cheated. So first, I apologized. I apologized because I let this build up in my mind for so long without talking to her about it sooner. What should be a blessing has been nothing but insecurity and fear for me. We talked for a while. I told her how happy it made me to see her ecstatic and happy for the baby. I told her how much I loved the relationship that we've built together, and I felt like an a-hole for questioning her loyalty. She had never given me a reason not to trust her, and that I still couldn't emotionally get over the thoughts of infidelity. I said that weird. You know what I mean, because of my ex. She thanked me for telling her, and she knew how hard it was for me to get over that. She volunteered to have us get a paternity test when he or she is born, which made me feel better at first, but something still felt off. I honestly don't know why. Something about how she was so eager to get a paternity test and almost not mad at me at all for having kept this from her. Normally, she would have been upset that I didn't bring it up to her right away, but there was just a weird feeling I couldn't shake for the rest of the day. It seemed like she was saying all the right things, but I couldn't get rid of this clawing feeling inside my head. Some might say that's your gut trying to tell you something, but maybe your gut's wrong. Maybe I'm just being paranoid. Maybe there's a gut feeling that I need to listen to. But I ended up going to the appointment alone as we decided it would be good to see if I still needed the surgery. Turns out it's obstructive azoospermia. I've read so many stories about people who were supposed to be infertile and end up getting pregnant. So I brought that up and how my wife's pregnancy was affecting me. The urologist thought it would be pretty unlikely that I wouldn't need surgery to have a kid with how mine was presenting itself. He mainly tried to skirt around the topic and mostly pushed me towards making sure that she was actually pregnant. Being there didn't really help. I feel like I just got more uncertainty. She had another night out being out at 8:30 last night. We talked about scheduling an appointment to verify the pregnancy when she got home. She seemed a little confused, but then quickly agreed. She promised to do it in the morning. I asked how work had gone, and she gave me a kind of non-committal answer about her boss pushing her too much and being stressed out. There was nothing huge there, but she just seemed off. I really couldn't put my finger on it. We were still acting all lovey-dovey, but something just felt wrong and I couldn't talk about it without repeating the same conversation that we had on Sunday. I've been trying to throw myself into work to distract myself, but I haven't been able to focus. We have a joint checking account that will sometimes have money in and out, but really only use it for groceries or household items unless we talk about it beforehand. This morning, she moved half of it to hers, about $1,700. We don't do that. She's never needed to do that before. And I checked our healthcare portal and she made the appointment for the one-time Thursday that I mentioned I was busy working on site. We were supposed to go together. It's not looking good. It ain't looking good, you guys. I'm starting to go crazy. How do I bring this up that isn't me just having the same conversation again? I'm looking into getting a second opinion for myself, but I need a litmus test from objective outsiders to know if I'm really losing it or if this seems weird to someone else. Can confirm as an outsider, it does feel weird, but it also could just be coincidences. I'm not fully convinced she's cheating yet. I don't know. I'm torn. It's possible, but it's also possible that she's faithful and she just happened to get pregnant. He updated on this same post a little bit later saying, I've been trying to center myself. We talked calmly for a bit on the phone. She claimed she moved the money out in anticipation for the deductible payments that she'll have with different visits. I didn't bring up anything else, but she seemed a little impatient with me. Probably rightly so, and implied that we would have a longer talk when she gets home. I'm just trying not to overreact right now. I don't know what to think. This is either a misunderstanding on my side and on the father, or not. Thankfully, she's not working late today. Another little update came on the same post. Man is just on Reddit. Fully immersed. I went for a long run to clear my mind, got a shower, and then my wife should be home. I'm going to go into the conversation with no judgment, just objectively walk out the facts and why I've still been struggling personally with some of them. Regardless of what happens, I am done with any confusion left between us. We finally sat down after she got home last night. I told her everything that was going on, the urologist, the money, the upcoming appointment. I told her how, even with all her reassurances, too many suspect things kept happening. Thank God we have some more updates because really that told me nothing about your talk. All right? Before we get to more updates, we are hopping on all aboard the hydration station. Drink your water. Quick chat in the comment section. Have you guys ever been cheated on? I feel like we should talk about it because a lot of us can probably relate to this feeling. I have been cheated on in a past relationship, and it's so hard to not allow those little things to creep up back in your mind, even if you're with someone who's never given you any reason to doubt them or or not trust them because of your past. You're like, is that just creeping up in there because I went through that? I feel like that is super relatable. So let's chat about it. Have you guys ever been cheated on? The next update came 3 days later. We finally sat down after she got home last night. I told her everything that was okay. So same repeated sentence. Told her everything that's going on with the urologist, the money, the upcoming appointments. She agreed how everything looked and immediately apologized. She didn't realize how much my last ex's cheating was still affecting me. She knew I was off going into the weekend, but thought that we had addressed it. We talked about it on Sunday, but I can get pretty internal with all these worries and not show them outwardly. And so while she had thought we were communicating, I wasn't. We decided to start from the beginning and go through everything together. The money was the real problem for me. She agreed how inconsiderate it was with where my head was at to do that without mentioning it. Apparently, the prenatal visits are so structured that they want you to set up a payment plan with them right away, and she wanted to make sure it was squared away to keep the appointment. She offered, without me prompting, to call them tomorrow with me to verify that, or if I really wanted, we could move the money back. She does get better rewards out of hers, so it kind of made sense. We read up on obstructive azoospermia. I can imagine that I'm saying that wrong this entire video. And it doesn't seem like they're often invincible force fields. It seems like only the actual absence of the vas deferens, CBAVD, actually guarantees complete infertility. So it is possible for some to get through. We're going to go back to the original specialist I was working with last year and hopefully get a clearer picture. It turns out the appointment she made was the only time they had available so soon, and she figured it would be best not to wait. I told her I took off work to go with her, and she was relieved that I could join. Once again, she said all the right things and seems genuine about getting us on the same page. After going through each thing, I was just wishing I believed her a little more before. She's stressed out with work and when she'll have to take off, but she really seemed to want to go out of her way to alleviate my concerns. She even offered an open phone policy if I needed it. We did look at the text I had seen, and it was just a girlfriend. I declined though right now since I don't want to be that husband. This has really made me take a deeper look at what's in my past and how that still affects me today. Even thinking back to this weekend, it was so hard to see in the moment how much of all the uncertainty was still affecting me. That level of anxiety literally makes you question what around you is real. I think trust, but verify is the best way to put it. I was just trying to verify without any of the trust is all. This has all put a strain on our marriage right now, but I'm feeling a bit more like we're a team again, working towards easing that. She thought that an NIPP ASAP was a great idea, as long as we also got some kind of counseling together. I'm not big on therapy, but I can probably agree that it would most likely help. I'm feeling a little better about everything. It's time for me to hopefully be a father. Now, we do have some top comments because I'm curious to see where things are at before we get the final update. So someone commented in reference to the fact that she moved half of the money, the $1,700, into her account. They wrote, everything else could just be your own anxiety, but this is something concrete. What's confusing to me is why you're stressing about bringing this up without it being the same conversation, when the money thing is clearly a different conversation. How come you've moved half of the joint account to your own account? A perfect simple question that should have a perfectly simple answer, and there is zero reason not to just ask that question. Edit. As this blew up, another question, namely, why not tell you about it beforehand? Because she must know that you would notice it, and she must know that you would have some questions. This isn't a few dollars going missing. It's half the account, which is suspiciously precise and surely significant that she had moved it, knowing you would spot it, but not give you a heads up regardless, knowing you would wonder what's up. OOP had wrote at that time, just texted her. That's a little confusing too, especially with finances when you always talk about them and she's never done that before. Why wouldn't you just say, hey, I'm moving some money for all the prenatal appointments we have coming up, okay? You know what I mean? Next comment. You got any sick time? Call in sick on the day of the appointment and go anyway. She technically already kind of agreed to go together, so make it so. She can't argue with that. And he did take the day off work, so OOP wrote back, I wouldn't want to surprise her, but I think I might wait until she's home, and mentioned that I'll take it off and see what she says. He's going, so don't worry. Now we do have the final update, which was written on the same post. The paternity test came back initially positive for anyone that's going to see this. And that is all that he wrote. So they got a paternity test. It came back positive that the child is his. So all his insecurities very much are all of his insecurities, right? Is that where we're all at? We believe that. I mean, the child is his. Paternity test can't be wrong, right? Interesting. 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 I don't know why I'm like second guessing it. Girl, the science is there. Let me know your thoughts and feelings on this, you guys, especially, you know, if you've been pregnant, you'll definitely have more knowledge than someone like me. I'll see you in the comment section. Stay classy out there. Stay sassy.